Mobile Suit Gundam 00 Gundam Meisters was originally released on the PS2 back in 2008. You can't shoot while you boost, which I found a bit annoying at first because of the game's speed. It naturally feels like you should be able to do that, but you can't. So boosting just becomes a case of wanting to get out of the way of attacks or getting in close to faraway enemies. Boosting at the right moment will also see you swing around enemies, so you can avoid their melee attacks. The block shield button are hardly used, as this is very much a button bashing game. With hordes of enemies to kill, there's very little reason for you to hold back unless you're fighting one of the game's bosses. This game is heavy on quick time events. Every 4 to 5 minutes will see you activate one or be forced into one. You'll never be too sure which buttons and how it has to press them will come up. Maybe you'll have to button bash, or maybe you'll have to time it at the right exact moment DDR style. Like that game, it will keep you on your toes. The way quick time events happen make it hard for you to actually enjoy the movie event themselves, as you'll be far more focused on the prompts themselves. The bosses, by the way, can also activate quick time events against you, so the CPU can stall on you with an epic finish attack, which is sure to upset you. Getting the prompts correct in these moments will see you take no damage and live to fight on. I found the bosses to be the hardest thing to fight in the game. You might say, well yeah, obviously that's why they're the bosses. True, but the cannon fodder of grunt mobile suits are really easy to take down. You feel like you're in Dynasty Warrior or something, just chopping them to pieces by the boatload. In the end, the challenge comes from the form of how many chains you can pull off, so you'll always be trying for a higher one. You have unlimited beam attacks, which is cool, but doing melee attacks builds up your zero gauge more, thus you'll be able to activate the chain attack quick time event more often. The chain attacks are the best way to clear a stage pretty fast, since you'll clear all the hordes of enemies out and then trigger the boss event, so make sure to carry that chain combo for as long as possible. The longer you do it, the better the quick time event movie level you will get at the end of it, where your teammates will even join in and help you wipe out the enemies. This will become harder the longer it goes on for, as you're given less directions to pick from and only a short amount of time to pick the right way, but hey, that's the challenge. Saying that, I did beat the game pretty easy, even though I was playing on normal. It's not a game you're going to struggle with. There is an option for a hard setting, so if normal was too easy, you can always give the harder setting a try. One of the great things about this game is that you don't just play as Setsuna in the Exia. You get to play as each of the different 4 Gundam Meisters, so if you have a favourite outside of Exia, you'll be very pleased to play as them. Like I am, playing as Lockon in the Dimes, one of my favourite suits from the series. Each character gets his own 10 separate missions to complete, so it's not just a case of repeating the same levels over again with just different suits. It's all mostly unique to what pilot you picked. Of course, the general story of the game is based directly on the show, well, the first half of the show, so sadly there aren't any second season suits or Trailblazer suits in the game, which means no reborns Gundam, which makes me sad, but hey, the game still has a ton of good suits for you to play with here. You will actually feel the difference in each mobile suit you play, from their strong points to weaker ones, like speed and damage on weapons, etc. This actually surprised me, as I didn't think they would go that far, but it's great to see the devs put effort in. Outside of story mode, you have Meister mode and Versus mode. Meister mode is like a survival time attack mode. Again, you'll have 10 stages to get through on this mode, and you can pick any mobile suit to play with in this mode too, which means I get to play in Graham's Union Flag Custom 2, which is awesome. The presentation of the game starts with the game box itself, with a very nice cover and back box art, with a full colour menu showing all the details of the game and mobile suits. The 3D models and the various suits are really well done for a PS2 game. The background areas might be a bit plain looking, but they serve their purpose and really your focus will be on the gameplay. The sound is another winner, as it's music from the show itself, which was already awesome, so no change here either. Honestly, this game was a surprise to me. Yeah, it's not the perfect game, and sometimes the camera might make you lose track of things, but it still does a good job of following you along as you slash and shoot your way through enemies. The game has a very styling and profiling feel to it, almost dare I say it like Devil May Cry. It's a very flashy game where you're going to feel so cool about the moves being pulled off, even if it's in a quick time event. While the game never got a Western release, it's a very English friendly game, so you don't need to worry about not knowing any Japanese. That won't stop you having any fun. The game does remind me of Zone of the Enders, so if you like that series you may enjoy this game too. While of course it's not as good, it still has that mecha high speed action you might be aching for. What is for certain is that if you're a fan of the Gundam 00 show, then this game is a must-own game for you. For me, it's tailor-made for Gundam 00 fans. You'll have a blast playing it, and there's more than enough content thrown onto the disc for you to have fun for a long time. As always, thanks for watching and catch you next time.
ならばそれは世界の声だ。違う、貴様は自分のエゴを押し通しているだけだ。その歪み、この俺が断ち切る。よく言ったガンダム。パワーとダリル、敵はガンダム。